We met beautiful people who will inspire you with their wisdom from the heart, sparkling insights and pure awareness. Unique voices from all over the globe talking about heart's leadership. Today we're talking with Hira Hosen and we're really excited about it. Hira has a great life, doing many great things, and today we're going to talk with her about leadership. Hira has been a Zen nun for more than 10 years, and the last few years she's really active in guiding people in her workshop called The Awakening of the Illuminated Heart. And today we're going to talk about heart's leadership, and I'm really excited to hear your story and your insights, what it could mean to the world of today and to the leaders of today who have a great impact on so many people. And so welcome this afternoon. It's wonderful to be here with you. And just give me maybe a quick run on your thoughts on what leadership is for you and how you look at it.
Yeah, leadership. I've been growing up in a Dutch family, and my father has always been a leader, always been an example. So it's in my roots, it's in my being. I've studied industrial engineering, I have a Master of Science. It was all a bit in that area of leadership, of standing in the place where I can lead people. And lately, I don't know since how long, well, I started teaching this workshop about 6 years ago, and there it was also still, I had that imprint of leading. I was leading the group, and I was leading, the workshops and the people, and I was even like leading what you could call a collective energy. Like I really felt like one of the leaders. And then somewhere a few years ago, I think I felt that didn't really resonate with me anymore in that sense, because I feel that it's all about empowerment now, and if I take the role of the leader, then people are kind of not blindly following, but they are following. And so this energy of a person following me didn't resonate with me anymore. I didn't even want it to do it anymore in that sense. So it changed into guiding. So for me, real leadership, it has many forms. I don't say that a leader that stands in their power and leading a whole community, I'm not saying it's not leading, but for me, personally, leading is about guiding. So I can guide people into their hearts. I can guide people into a certain state of meditation. I can guide people into themselves. But I can't be a leader anymore. It just doesn't feel that it resonates with me, or the times that are coming, or what people really need, or in that sense. So that would be for me leadership.
So if we would look in the world to all the leaders, it would be your vision maybe to have them more as guides than as leaders of today.
Yeah, because I think it's an inside thing. So you can still lead like a whole group or a whole community or a company or whatever it is, where you're leading in. But the leader itself needs to make some kind of shift in how he or she is presenting it. Not only presenting it, but how they are feeling about it. How they, what dynamics are there? Because if the dynamics is I am leading and they're following, then I think it's not going to fit the generations that are coming and all the the changes of the earth. So it's like, yeah, they need to make like a sort of a be more open. I think be more open for participation. Be more open for what other people have to say. Be more open so they can still be that leader, but it will be about more people involved, several people. Like there can be so many models for this, and I think we're just at the beginning of finding all these models of how we can actually lead, but without taking the power, and give the power back to the people, and and yet lead. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's something that they have to feel inside, because else it's never going to work anyway. If they are like, yeah, I'm leading, but I'm not leading, it becomes all like kind of not clear, and so people will pick up on that anyway. People pick up on everything. They pick up on what's behind everything you're doing, so yeah, the leaders themselves have to have made this type of change where they are open and where they are not taking the power from others, but they're actually empowering the group that or the company that they are leading. So it's a big shift, but also very simple, yeah.
You just mentioned briefly like the generations to come. How would you describe in your view what kind of generation is coming on Earth, is coming into the companies?
Yeah, I think it's a totally different generation, really. It's I have a daughter of 9 years old, so I can see her grow up. Also, for example, I think it was 12 years ago, maybe 13 years ago, I worked for 3 years in Shell, the company in The Hague. I worked for the corporate, what's it called, the CEO of the human resource department. And one of the things that I did, and I worked for 3 years, it's a big, report, was about time spirit. So we called it time spirit, and it was also about besouling, how to give soul to the company. So they were already asking me, 12 years ago, Shell was already asking me, tell us about what is the time spirit, what do people want? And so I've always been interested in this. What do people want? What is the time spirit about? What's the new generation is coming? And so I've felt the changes, and I think the changes are going to be even greater than what people might even feel. I think a lot of people are going to change jobs, change countries, change relationships, open up for more possibility. Everything will be faster. If it doesn't go easy, people won't do it anymore. It's like there's a flow to it. If that flow is not there, I'm not saying everybody will do that, but you will see and I think you will see the differences greater in between the people that will jump on that new, wave or whatever you call it, and the people that don't. So the people that don't, you will start to recognize them, and people will, so I think this difference in between the newer generation wave and the older one who's trying to kind of hold on or grab to the older, model or whatever you call it, will actually, become bigger. So
do you think then in this new generation, when they appear, will there be a role, will there be a place for leaders anyway? Or leader guides? Will there still
leader
be?
guides, yes, I do think so, because this is just my vision, but when I look into the world, I see many people are searching. Many people know that the old system doesn't work. I think it's kind of obvious.
I think so, yeah.
So, but yet there is not really that new model, or that new dynamics is not yet in place. So I think seriously millions of people are searching. They just don't. So yeah, of course there needs to be some sort of leadership, obviously, but it will be in a new form, but definitely it's needed. Guides are definitely needed. If there has ever been a time, it's always needed, but if there has ever been a time that guidance is needed, it would be this one, because people are getting very confused. This is the ascension work that I'm doing. The vibration on the planet is rising. People are feeling it. People are becoming more open, more psychic, more, and so they are perceiving like, okay, there is something more than what I've lived up until this moment. But they don't really have the structure. There's no structure. You can't go to you can go to a church, but it's like there's not the structure that they need is not there. So it's like, okay, who is going to kind of step up, and people are doing it, huh? Who's going to kind of step up into that new role and guide these masses of people?
That's promising.
Yeah, it is.
And now you've been working actively with opening the heart of many people the last 6 years you mentioned. How could the heart be of service to this whole change or shift of new structures, new maybe not structures, new whatever, balance in business life? Is it still business life, or is it going to be something different? But how could the heart, which is such a prominent something in our life, how could that be of service to this whole process?
Well, I think it's one of the main ways. It's all about when you're living in your heart, you are living in a unity consciousness. So there is not this dualistic, kind of right, wrong, or anything. It's just love. So whatever form life has taken, you are willing to see it as oneness, and so you will look at it in that perspective. So, and business is not a bad thing. Business is great. So business fits into it, but it will be more like heart-centered business. So it will be business as, how do we actually save the planet? Is it really through, what's offered now? I don't think so. I mean, it's what the solar panels. I mean, when you look at what solar panels are doing, the batteries that it takes to actually construct them, and how long do they live, and then what you throw them away. It's like, and there is so many options for, energy-wise, there's so much to discover. So the business will be more heart-centered. It will be more like really caring for the planet, really caring for the people. What do the people want? And I can see, because my work is in these areas, in these collective consciousness areas, I can see it happening a lot.
Wonderful.
A lot, yeah.
Because we're really, there's a huge scream from leaders around the world. They're really in tough situations. Economic structures are still there, old systems are still in place, and it's really tough for them to really break out of the system. And they have shareholders, they have objectives to meet. Yeah. And you have this wonderful vision of unity and coming from the heart. Can you give them some kind of advice or tools that could help them to start loosening up maybe the structures and to get it more fluid and try to work maybe in a more organic way, or a more included way, that we include everything, not only business and maybe the people or the products, but also earth, also society?
I've done this 12 years ago. I have worked in Shell, and there was one person really open for it, and the rest wasn't. So it's like, at that time, 12 years ago, it's really about really living from the heart. And when you really live from the heart, everything will come to you. It's not about anymore about objectives, like this is the goal, we're going to make 1 million this year. It's like, sure, you can make 1 million, why not? Make 1 million, but do it with saving the earth. Maybe not even saving the earth, but do it with something that brings joy to the people. Do it with something that really changes this shift, this balance of people, making them happy, and in this sense. So if that is not your product, then maybe reflect on what you really want to do in your life. Maybe if in your life you just want to make money, then okay, by all means go on, but you won't survive. This new generation, you will not make that type of money anymore. It's really, the shift is really happening. People are not just buying products anymore blindly because on the televisions they see some kind of public, what are they called? Reclame? I don't know how you say it.
Advertising.
Advertisement. It's, people are just not, it's there's a real change. So only like kind of a self-reflection, you go inside and you say, okay, so I want to make that 1 million, this year. How do I do it? And sit together with people, and everyone is there. They are working because they feel that that company is important, and that their work is important. So use those assets, use that resource, and really go for it, and go deeper into that heart feeling. And then something magic, seriously, magic just happens. And then you're like, oh, how did we actually make that 1 million? Well, we just followed our hearts.
You're mentioning, working together with other people. You hear lately often the term of co-creation. What does that exactly mean? What is co-creation?
Co-creation, it's a very, it's a very beautiful energy because, I mean, this goes deep maybe, but everything is creation, right? And so we are creating our reality. All of us are like a consciousness creating reality from our own consciousness. And so in a way, the other doesn't exist. In a way, you are creating everything. So I'm creating you and, everything that's happening around me. And yet, you're doing the same. So you're creating your reality, and with your consciousness, you're creating even the chairs we're sitting on, the whole thing, you're creating it from your consciousness, and yet we're having this conversation. So this is the co-creation. This is where the magic happens, not only through our own consciousness, but through our both consciousness, what will come out of that. So it's extremely interesting. And that's why I think it's a term that is used a lot, because how else can you term that energy where we are both creating, and when that becomes a group, that's when it really gets interesting. When everybody opens up and just says, I'm here to create, what shall we create together? Then you can do magnificent things. So
that would be a relief for many people, because I hear so often in business life people saying, I'm not creative, you are creative, but I'm not creative. Mm-hmm. But you're saying everybody's creative.
Yes, so it's the primal
wonderful
force. Yeah, exactly. It's the primal force. It's when people stop being creative, they're basically kind of dying. It's being creative that creates, also gives you more energy. So yeah, I agree. It's very important.
Beautiful. And if we're talking about Heart's leadership, as we're talking today about Heart's leadership, is that something you could describe also as something like the new leaders of this world, or is it more feminine based maybe, or more masculine based, or is it the combination? How is your view on that? What is Heart's leadership in your vision?
Yeah, I think it is time for a lot of female energy in there. I think it is. It doesn't necessarily need to be a woman. It can be a man, but that has a beautiful balance in between his male and female side, or a woman who has a beautiful balance in the male and female side. Because I think a lot of women are kind of misunderstanding, in a way, stepping up to the plate of being a woman and taking leadership. You will find women now taking leadership that are more masculine, more male than any male has ever been. And then where's the balance? Where, a woman who's very, high heels, 9-to-5 job, makes a lot of money. It's beautiful, it is beautiful, as long as she keeps that balance in between her soft and receiving and female. And this caring, nurturing energy, if she can hold the balance, then for sure she can walk high heels, 9-to-5 job and make a lot of money. But there is a disbalance, a very, very disbalance in between the male and the female as they are representing themselves right now. So the male leadership is knows that there has to be some balance and looking for some guidance in the female. The female is still too much on kind of generalized on the kind of like, almost becoming too much male. So yeah, I think we need a lot of female energy, and then I don't mean females, I mean female energy, which is what I just said, the nurturing quality, the connection, the caring for, and not only like doing the dishes and all this. This is not what I mean. I mean really like connecting everyone. So
I can imagine people looking at this interview and get inspired. Like, I want to do that. That's great. I want to.
Nice.
But how? Mm-hmm. I can hear them almost like, how did you do it? How can we get there?
Well, for me, it's clear. It's meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah, it's meditation, and a lot of people misunderstand meditation. I did it for sure. I've been living almost 10 years in the Zen temple, and I've been meditating. I don't think that's needed. I don't mean meditation, go put yourself in a monastery, I did it for you. I did it for you, it's okay. A lot of people have been doing that through the ages, putting themselves in a cave, meditating, and by that raising the consciousness or keeping the consciousness high. Now the consciousness is growing anyway, whatever you do. If you dance, it could be a meditation. If you paint, it could be a meditation. If you run, if you sport, if you take care of yourself, it could be a meditation. I'm not specifically and only talking about putting yourself on a cushion and just, closing your eyes and meditating, although this will definitely help, even if you just do 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day.
What would you advise? Could you give us a meditation? Could you give us some guidance?
Sure. If you want, we could do one now.
It would be great.
I could do like the most easy, accessible meditation, which could be, we do Zazen, as a Zen nun, we do Zazen. It's so simple.
Okay.
It's so simple.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Can I close my eyes or stay?
Well, it's as you want. Like in Zen, we do 45 degrees down. So it's not that you have your eyes open and you're watching. It's just like you kind of close them, but you're not closing them either. Some people just fall asleep immediately if they close their eyes and they go into this kind of sleepy state.
Mm-hmm.
This is not where we want to go to. We want to go to an active state, but yet not have the mind active or anything like that. So you can choose. You can have your eyes closed, of course, but watch that wakefulness. You can have your eyes open, but then to kind of disidentify with what you're seeing will be a little harder, but you could try. Or you can keep your eyes 45 degrees down to the floor, half open, half, as we say, half open, half closed.
Wonderful.
Nice.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do that.
Take us there, Hira.
Okay. Okay, so just we're going to just observe our breath. So the way you observe your breath is very simple. You just become quiet. This will all happen naturally. So feel how the air, so if you can breathe only through your nose, that is beneficial. But if you are having a cold or something, a flu, you can just breathe through your mouth and kind of imagine that you're breathing through your nose. So while you're breathing through your nose, you feel the breath. You feel the air passing through your nose into your body, into your lungs. So you can just follow that breath. And when it breathes out, you feel again that breath going out of your body. Now this already could be your final and simple meditation. This already will bring you in another state, because all you're doing is you are observing that breath. So somewhere in your experience, obviously in the beginning the mind will come in, if you're not used to this. But if the mind comes in, that is okay. Don't try to push away your mind, because it will become stronger. All you need to do is to let the mind or that thought just pass like a cloud. There's a cloud passing by, there's a thought passing by, that's fine. We're not going to think about that thought, that you shouldn't think that thought, and we're not going to analyze it or criticize it. We're not going to do anything with it. That thought comes up, that's normal, we're human beings. And then you just let that thought pass. So now already it becomes this type of combination in between you are observing your breath, and whenever a thought or an emotion comes up, you just let it pass. You give space to that emotion. But again, we're not going into it. We're not going to analyze it, criticize it, judge it. We're not doing anything with it. We're just letting it be in that space that we are actually creating right now. We're creating a space inside. So you will notice that your body starts to relax. Just let that happen. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. You You can relax the muscles around your eyes and your mouth and really let yourself fall into that observer. Because while you're observing your breath going in and out of your nose, you become the observer. And this is what all the meditations are about, is about you being the observer of your thoughts, of your body, of your emotions, of all this complexity that a human being is. We're just observing it. And also the breath, we are not forcing it, we are not becoming it, we are just letting everything be as it is. And the more you do that, the more you can let everything be as it is, the more you will actually find, you're not looking for it, but you will find or experience who you really are. So imagine you're already feeling it now. Imagine that. This has just been what, 1, 2, 3 minutes of your life that you've really connected with some deeper part in yourself. So imagine doing this 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. You could even do it while you're, just having 2 minutes, you need to recharge yourself. It's like we never really recharge. Shall we go out?
Yeah.
It's
thanks.
like, I follow this teacher, Rinpoche, and he has this beautiful analogy, I think it's called, of a phone. So you have your iPhone or your phone or whatever, and you're never charging yourself. It's like you never plug that phone in the charger. You're always thinking, always feeling, always, your body and this and that. You're always identifying with everything that's happening. So you're never really you never stop. You never stop. And that's how we get decharged. But your phone, you're plugging it in. Every evening, or whenever it's empty, you plug your phone in. But do we plug ourselves in? Hardly ever. So yeah, meditation is just a way to recharge, to rest.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
We just did it and I felt instantly a calmness and an overview and just relaxed, but still very aware. So it's wonderful. So really, it's great. Thanks for sharing this with us.
Thank you for asking. Yeah,
really beautiful. Is there anything you would like to share with us which really needs to be said, like from your heart? Like what you would say to the leaders of this world, businesses, organizations, but also leaders maybe more behind the scenes? Anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard it. I think many people, it's something that is coming up. So many people will hear saying, follow your heart, follow your heart. What does that even mean? Some people don't even know what that means. They're like, okay, follow your heart, but where is my heart? What does that mean? So I think, it's about being yourself. It really is about being yourself. It's about you, because everyone comes on this planet with some sort of, not call it maybe mission, but everyone is here to not only to experience this reality, but also to bring in something. We all have our unique vibration, and we're all here to live that, to share it, So the more that you become yourself, just be yourself, just follow your excitement, just follow what makes you happy. And then when you're happy, that is your gift. When you're happy, that is your gift to the world, So it doesn't matter if I speak at this moment to businesses or leaders or individuals or a collective. It's all about, that joy of being alive. If you follow that flow, that true creative flow that flows through everything and all existences, then you know you can create magic. So
That's wonderful. So we want joyful leaders.
yeah, that
That's
are
what we
being
want.
themselves.
Joyful people in general, of
Yeah.
course, but joyful
Yeah.
leaders
Yeah,
within this subject. That would be
Yes.
great. Can you
Yes.
imagine how joyful business we would get?
exactly. And how joyful people will go to their job and they can't wait to get to work. You know, it's like
Wonderful.
joy. Yeah.
Wonderful. Hira, thank you so much for sharing all this wisdom that you have brought to this world with us. It's been a great pleasure.
Thank you.
And it's been really a wonderful insight for today. And I hope everybody's gonna like it, enjoy it, and take it into their hearts, because I've been so lucky to sit here next to Hira and feel and experience everything, but I'm sure right through the camera you can even sense what I'm sensing here. So thank you very much, and
Thank you.
namaste.
Namaste.